Ladies and gentlemen, one day you'll wake up at 40, 50, or 60 and realize all those just this once excuses quietly stole your dreams. Not one big disaster, no dramatic failure, just years of small negotiations with yourself. Because nobody plans to mess things up. You don't wake up and say, "Today I ruined my future." You say something smarter. "I'll start tomorrow. I'm tired today. Just this once." And just this once has ended more dreams than bad luck ever could. At night, you're unstoppable. At 11:59 p.m., you're motivated, focused, disciplined, a legend in your own head. Tomorrow, you'll wake up early. Tomorrow, you'll work hard. Tomorrow, you'll change everything. Then, tomorrow arrives. The alarm rings. You don't even open both eyes, just one, and your brain immediately becomes a lawyer. Sleep is important. Rest is productivity. Successful people don't rush. So you hit snooze, not because you're lazy, because you're reasonable. That's the scary part. Now, let me give you a real example. Early in his career, Virat Kohli, the famous Indian cricketer, wasn't the disciplined machine you see today. He was talented but inconsistent. Critics questioned his fitness, his focus, his professionalism. He could have said, "I'm young, it's fine." He could have said, "Just this once won't matter," and nobody would have blamed him. But instead of defending his excuses, he removed them. He changed how he trained. He changed how he ate. He changed how seriously he took every single day. Same talent, different daily standards. That's the difference most people miss. Excuses don't sound dumb. They sound intelligent, caring, responsible. Skipping one workout feels like self-care. Delaying one decision feels like planning. Scrolling just for 5 minutes turns into a masterclass in time travel. Think about it. How many things have you almost started? Not failed, almost started. The course you bought and never opened. The idea you explained perfectly to friends but never tried. The version of you that keeps getting postponed like a boring meeting. You didn't quit, you just kept saying, "soon." Here's another example. Shah Rukh didn't come from privilege when he arrived in Mumbai. No film family, no safety net, no guarantee. He could have waited. He could have said, "Let me settle first. Let me get comfortable. Let me wait for the right moment." But there is no right moment. Only moments you move in. While others waited for permission, he showed up. While others protected comfort, he took risk. That's the point. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they protect comfort like it's a full-time job. We say, "I'll focus when life slows down. I'll improve after this phase. I'll get serious when things are stable." Here's the truth. Life never stabilizes. It just changes excuses. And that's why this moment matters. Part 2. Excuses turn into habits. You know what's sneaky about excuses? At first, they're just things you do once. "I'll start tomorrow. Just one more scroll. Today's a rest day, anyway." Harmless, right? Wrong. Because once you do it once, your brain thinks, "Hey, that felt fine. Let's do it again." And then it happens again and again. Suddenly, congratulations, you've created a habit. Habits are like tiny roommates, the quiet ones you didn't notice moving in. At first, you think they're harmless. Then 6 months later, you realize they've eaten all your snacks, watched all your shows, and basically run your life. Scrolling TikTok for just 5 minutes every night, that's a habit now. Skipping that workout just this once, that's a habit now. Watching motivational videos at 2 a.m. and doing nothing at 9 a.m., that's officially a habit. And once habits stick, they don't just sit quietly. They shape your default self, the version of you that decides what's possible, the version of you that doesn't even try because that's just how I am. Small habits feel harmless, but they stack like bricks until you've built a wall that keeps your dreams outside. Let me give you a real-life example. Emma Chamberlain started posting videos that were messy. Awkward cuts, weird jokes, cringe moments. Most people would have said, "Yeah, this isn't me, I'll stop." But she kept showing up, posting imperfectly until consistency became her habit. And that habit built her brand, her confidence, her identity. Another example, Simone Biles. She didn't wake up one day as the world's best gymnast. She had habits, Tiny, grueling, repetitive habits. Even when she fell, even when she failed, even when she was exhausted. Those habits became her identity, the kind of person who never lets excuses win. Bad habits from excuses are quiet, polite, sneaky. They don't yell at you. They don't shame you. They just slowly take over your default self. And your default self decides what you do, what you don't do, and who you think you are. That's why people wake up 10 years later and say, "How did I end up here?" It's not magic, it's habits. Excuses that became rituals, rituals that became identity. But here's the good news. Habits aren't permanent. You can break them. You can replace them. You can start today. Skip one scroll. Work out one day you don't feel like it. Post that imperfect idea. Do it consistently, and you don't just form a habit. You form a new identity. Part 3. Life moves on while you wait. You know what's ruthless about life? It doesn't wait. You can snooze, scroll, rest, or plan forever, and life will keep moving. That email you didn't send, someone else sent it. That idea you never pitched, someone else did. That skill you kept postponing, someone else mastered it. Life doesn't argue with you. It doesn't say, "I'll wait." It moves quietly, like a bus leaving while you're still tying your shoes. We all do it. I'll start tomorrow, next week for sure, and suddenly the opportunity is gone. Albert Einstein didn't scream genius as a child. He didn't speak until age 4. Teachers said he was slow. He could have waited. He didn't. He kept learning. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before the light bulb. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He kept showing up. Opportunities don't wait. Life doesn't stop for you to get ready. You snooze, you scroll, you procrastinate, and everyone else keeps moving forward. Excuses feel harmless, but they quietly steal your time while life moves on. Part 4. Regret hits hard. Regret doesn't arrive with fireworks. It's polite. It waits. It whispers, "You could have. You should have." Decades pass, and suddenly you realize the dreams you never chased are gone. Abraham Lincoln lost multiple elections before becoming president. Beethoven faced deafness, poverty, critics. They kept going. Regret doesn't care about your reasons. It only cares about results. But even regret can be a signal. One small action today can stop decades of regret. Start messy. Start scared. Start anyway. Part 5. Take action now. Excuses are temporary. Habits can be broken. Regret can be outrun. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need one step. Start before you're ready. Start imperfectly. Start today. Life doesn't give medals for waiting. It gives results to people who act. So don't wait. Start small. Start awkward. Start now. Because one day you'll look back and be proud, not because it was easy, but because you acted. Excuses are temporary. Regret lasts forever. And you deserve better than that. Thank you for listening.